Welcome to this new episode of the official TarotParlor podcast, where we discuss all things tarot in a spiritual and down-to-earth way, because we are both head in the sky, feet on the ground, and a deck in our hands. I'm Lou. I've been reading tarot online and offline for over 14 years. I use the cards for predictions, manifestation, and general guidance. My motto is see clearer, feel better, and that is what we're here for. If you're not familiar with TarotParlor, I invite you to come check it out at TarotParlor.com, where I post tutorials, reviews, and offer online readings too. I am also on social media, especially on Pinterest at TarotParlor and Instagram at Louise Tarot. Okay, let's dive in. Okay, so today I would love to start with a crucial topic to understand what tarot is and is not, and what it can be used for. So, free will, predictions, and tarot. What's the deal? Okay, so I first learned tarot from my mom when I was a teenager. Very skeptical at first, but she just, convinced me. Because I would see her predict stuff that no one would see coming, and it would just happen. So, okay. So that's my background. I learned it from my mom, and she used it and still uses it today mainly for predictions. And she uses the Marseille Tarot, the original Marseille Tarot and system. And that's it. And that's why people come to her. They come for predictions, and she's just accurate and has a great reputation for it. So that's how I learned it. Okay, you have a question, you want to know what's gonna happen to you, what's gonna happen in this situation. Is he gonna leave me? Is he gonna come back? Will I get a raise? All of those things. You ask the cards and they have an answer for you. Okay, that's great. But I want to talk about what more we can do with the cards, and also, well, what if I don't like the answer? Is there something I can do? So this is really one of my favorite topics when it comes to tarot. There's information all over the place, right? And there are all sorts of beliefs. So if what I'm about to say goes against your beliefs, well, that's okay. That's okay. You do you, I do me. So sometimes it's hard to put tarot and free will together. It can even sound like a contradiction. Well, I use tarot for prediction, so where's my free will? It's everywhere. That's my answer. So one thing that people really want from tarot are answers. Clear and often definitive answers. Also, they usually know the answer they want. I'll make an episode on that soon. And I have a little bit on the blog about it. But those answers, are they really definitive? Are they really the only possible answer? As in, can't change, won't budge, nothing you can do? Yes and no. And here's why and how it works, again, in my opinion. So I'm not saying predictions don't work. They do. I predict things all the time with tarot and sometimes without. And do these things happen? Absolutely. For me and for my clients. And there's been little to no errors, really, that I've been made aware of, at least. But my belief is that we pick up energy. The cards do. I do. You do. We all pick up energies because everything is energy. We know that, right? So we pick up on those. We pick up on the things that are already in motion. Things that are unfolding, manifesting, if you will. Sometimes these things, these manifestations, are so advanced and so well on the way that it is kind of already at a point of no return that makes it nearly impossible to stop. I don't want to say impossible, as nothing really is impossible, I think, and I definitely don't want you to think that, because I don't want to be limiting anyone in their beliefs. Everything is possible. Make it, write it on a post-it, put it on your wall. But some things are just unfolding, right, in a way that is just powerful. And sometimes you can feel it. You can just feel it so much in your own life that you just don't feel like you have it in you to stop it. So you let it happen, for better and for worse. But, you know, it's never impossible to fix. So let's take the example of career or love. You may get a reading that says you will break up with your boyfriend. Well, that sucks. No one ever wants to hear that. Is it going to happen? Most likely. But doesn't mean that you cannot take control again and change things if that is truly what you desire? No, of course you can do that. Tarot is a guide. It's a light in the dark, and it's a friend. And the idea that fate is such a heavy thing that leaves us feeling small and helpless is just cruel and limiting. And I hate it. And I'm not a big hater in general. I just hate the effect that kind of belief can have on people, because it makes you give up. It makes you think that you're only to suffer and accept whatever comes your way, and you don't really get a say in it. But I believe both in manifesting, because I've always had faith in the unseen and in the universe, or God, whatever you want to call it. You can call it Bob. And, this thing inside each and every one of us, it's so powerful. It's the source. But I also see tarot just work and predict. So my point is, it's really that we as the reader, so me as the reader or tarot readers in general, we're picking up on those frequencies, and the cards do the talking, But in life, everything is possible, again, always. So the reason why I want to talk about this is that when you get a tarot reading, online, offline, one of your friends, you do it yourself, I don't care. It has to be something constructive, okay? I don't ever want someone to turn to the cards and be traumatized and then be scared of using them again. And I'm saying that because it happened to me. And I know people to whom it happened as well. They were just at the point where, I really want to ask, but I really don't want to hear any more bad news. I'm just in a place right now in my life where I just cannot deal with anything dark or negative. And so you shouldn't. And that's why tarot can and should be used for many other things as well, not just predictions. It's absolutely possible, and I really encourage you to use tarot for guidance. So spreads that I love to do and readings that I love to do sometimes don't include any predictions. They either include different possibilities, so A, B, and C, depending on actions that you could take. Or, so it's really easy to also design your own spreads like that, like really make 3 columns, that just flow from different actions. I have a couple of tutorials on the blog. It's just easier when you can see that, so check out the blog. Or I also do spreads that are purely for guidance. What can I do right now to feel better, to improve my vibrations, my mood? I don't want to ask if I'm going to break up with my boyfriend. I don't want to know if I'm going to get into a fight with my boss. I just want to know, hey, tarot, how can I feel better over the next few weeks? How can I just improve my life? Okay, point me to the right direction. And tarot can do that, And so when you're in this dark place where you cannot take any more bad news or anything, you cannot hear anything challenging, really. Well, you don't have to. You don't have to. And if something bad's about to happen, you don't even have to know. You don't have to focus on it. And, by not focusing on it, you might be dodging it. In this universe, everything is possible. And so you should never fear a tarot reading. If you get a prediction, first of all, it's most likely what is currently unfolding. So bottom line, it will most likely happen. But it does not mean that you cannot fix it. Okay? So when you do a reading for yourself, or when you go to a reader, always be mindful of how you phrase your questions so that it leaves room for guidance, for solutions and not just for a sentence. Like, this is your trial and this is your sentence and this is it. And now you're going to cosmic jail. No. And I would really, really also totally say stay away from scary readers and people working with dark energies, as they will only feed the fears in you that lead to self-sabotage and destruction. And we don't want that. We want light. We want joy. We want abundance. All the good stuff, good vibes. And tarot can help you with that. So by telling you what's on the way, but also what could be on the way with little tweaks, tarot can prepare you for what's to come, but can also give you keys to manifest what you want and fix whatever needs fixing, So free will and tarot and predictions, it all works together. And basically, the more you know and the more you're prepared, well, the better you will do, and the more likely you are to reach your goals and get your manifestations and get your wishes, whatever you want to call them. So I'll share more on how to manifest using your deck in a separate episode. But in the meantime, I do have a couple tutorials for that on the blog at TarotParlor.com with spread tutorials and little tips to manifest using your decks. So I really invite you to come and check it out. I'll leave you with one tip to do it. One simple tip to manifest with tarot is get a card. Pick a card, not a random one, that you associate with your wish or your goal. So for instance, if it's a big sum of money that you need to come in, get the Queen of Pentacles or the King of Pentacles, depending on which one you identify with, and just place it in front of you. Meditate on it. Let the energy of the card sink in until you actually see it as your prediction. Is it random? No. It's you. You picked it. It's your decision. But is it a prediction? Well, now that you've turned it into a prediction, it will become one. That's one super easy way to use tarot for manifestation, and I swear to God, it works. I do it all the time. And then what happens when I do that with a specific card is that I notice that when I do random readings for myself, that card shows up all the time. Because now its energy and my energy are linked. And so I know that I'm on track to manifest what I want. And now the predictions are aligned with my wish and with my goals. And I have nothing to fear. And I want you to get to that spot where you never fear the cards and you always believe in yourself. That's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. I'm so grateful to be with you on this journey towards more understanding, enlightenment, and clarity. Warm blessings to you. Until next time.